World champions of the past, we have world champions of the present. We're some shields in the building.
Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you.
No, he's fighting a 57-year-old champ now. What's
58.
58. Don't want to take a year away from you, Mike.
He's fighting a guy that's almost 60 years old. And you know what I mean? I mean, that says it all. That says it all. There's nothing else that needs to be said. That's his shtick. That's his thing. He fights guys that are old, usually undersized guys, older, undersized guys. But he's fighting Tyson here, and him and Tyson are going to make a shitload of money.
A bunch of money.
Andrew Tate has revealed the strange details of his fight contract with Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer. The two have been trading insults online for months, and while everyone knew a fight was on the horizon, no one expected it to escalate this much.
Fucking internet. If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate.
You might have a fight on your hands.
That would go crazy.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. No, seriously.
I'm about the action. Like I'm less talk now. Like
You just don't see it as a sustainable thing.
He fought Tommy Fury and lost. Where's that rematch?
Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed top G and former kickboxer, has had an ongoing rivalry with Jake Paul for what seems like forever. Jake has been determined to prove that he's more than just a fighter who got by with money and hype. What better way to show his skills than by going up against someone like Tate, who's always claiming to be unbeatable? The fight is set to take place in Romania, but the location doesn't really matter. It's all about the intense tension between these two. They can't stand each other, and that's sure to make for an unforgettable showdown.
All he fights are old guys and whatever, but listen, say what you want, he wins, and he makes money. So he's doing his thing.
Two brothers, one cage. Jake Logan, you Tristan. Who comes out alive?
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs. I'm really trying not to. But
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
Don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie. But I'm going through life. I'm trying to live peaceful now.
Now, let's talk about the real star of the show, the contract. Andrew Tate has decided to be completely transparent by revealing the fight details, and trust me, it's a roller coaster. The stakes are huge, the penalties are laughable in that cringy way, and the clauses look like something straight out of a mix between WWE drama and Shark Tank business deals. This is where things get interesting. First off, let's be clear, everyone's watching this fight for one main reason: money. Big money. Tate and Paul aren't in this just for the fame. They're both making bank off these insane contracts that would make even the most experienced negotiators do a double take.
me versus Andrew Tate.
Wow.
But here we are, so we could talk about that side note announcement. And please go watch the episode.
Hold on a second. What you mean you versus Andrew Tate? Because
No, I'm not saying a fight. I'm saying like our back and forth. He talks shit about me and like says he wants to beat my ass or can beat my ass and all this stuff.
I think there's a better fight to make.
Now, let's dive into the real drama, the contract. Andrew Tate has pulled back the curtain and shared all the details of the fight, and let me tell you, it's a wild one. The stakes are massive, the penalties are almost laughable in that cringeworthy way, and the clauses are something you'd expect from a mix of WWE showmanship and Shark Tank deals. Here's the thing, everyone's tuning in for one reason: the money. Big, huge money. Tate and Paul aren't just in it for the spotlight, they're both cashing in big time with contracts so wild, they'd make even the most seasoned pros raise an eyebrow.
If my brother doesn't fuck you up, I will. And it has to go down. But I don't think he gets in the ring with one of us. I think it's too big of a risk.
The penalties in this contract are no joke. If either fighter fails a drug test, they don't just lose the match, they face a huge financial penalty. For Andrew Tate, who spent years building a top-tier persona, or Jake Paul, who's trying to keep his undefeated record intact, a failed drug test would be a career disaster. The damage to their image could be irreversible. They both know they have to stay clean, because the consequences go way beyond just losing the fight. Is it really surprising that Tate would include this clause? The guy is a strategist, and making sure there's no room for cheating is smart for someone who always plays the long game. As for Jake Paul, he hasn't exactly built a reputation for playing by the rules, so this clause makes sense. But wait, there's more, a rematch clause. If Jake Paul knocks out Andrew Tate, or if Tate submits Jake, the fight is over. No second chances, no let's try again next year. It's one fight, and the winner takes it all. This contract is packed with drama, penalties, and chaos. Honestly, it's the kind of thing that would make even the most intense soap operas jealous.
Hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million.
This could really turn up the heat. No rematch means the loser has nowhere to hide. They can't say they were off their game or just unlucky. There's no second shot to prove they're better than they looked in the ring. And that's some serious pressure. Picture Jake Paul, always fighting against the "he's just a YouTuber" label. If he loses, that's it, his undefeated record is gone, and there's no coming back for a redemption match. Now, flip it around, imagine Andrew Tate, the self-proclaimed top G, getting knocked out by a YouTuber turned boxer. The internet would lose its mind. It would be a wild scene.
You are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you. This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up.
Let's move on to another big part of the contract, the weight clause. Both fighters have to hit a specific weight before the fight, and if either of them fails, they lose 30% of their paycheck. This isn't just some typical drama you see at the start of most boxing events. There's real money on the line here. If they miss weight, that's a huge chunk of their earnings gone, just like that for guys like Tate, who live off their image, and Jake, who's working hard to prove himself as a legit boxer. Missing weight would be a serious blow. It's not just about looking good in front of the cameras. Failing to make weight shows a lack of preparation, and in boxing, that's a huge red flag. If you can't even get your body into the right shape for a fight, how can anyone trust that you're ready to step into the ring and win? For Tate, who prides himself on discipline, and Jake, who's trying to build his reputation, missing weight would seriously hurt their credibility.
I think you're focused on boxing boxers, people that are in the space that you reside.
Jake, I know he's been talking shit about you, bro.
Yeah.
But with your blessing, and I beat the shit out of Andrew fucking Tate.
100%.
And don't forget about the pay-per-view clause. This is where things get even wilder. Both fighters are set to take home 50% of the pay-per-view sales. That's right, every dollar fans spend to watch this fight will go straight into their pockets. So, what does that mean for their payouts? A lot of money. Both Jake and Tate have huge followings, especially on social media, and fans are going to be lining up to see this drama unfold. We could be looking at a record-breaking pay-per-view sale, especially with all the drama and hype surrounding this matchup. This isn't just any fight, it's one of the most talked about battles of egos in recent memory. With that much cash on the line, expect both fighters to bring their A-game, not just in the ring, but in marketing, too. They'll be hyping this fight non-stop on their platforms, making sure everyone knows how high the stakes are. The tension will keep building, and the pay-per-view sales will follow. If you're a betting person, you might want to consider how much cash fans will be throwing down just to see these two go head-to-head.
Well, he does tend to keep those guards down, but it's comfy at that point.
So, what does all this mean? Well, if you thought celebrity boxing was just a joke, think again. This fight is shaping up to be one of the most intense, drama-packed matchups of the year. The contract alone will keep you on the edge of your seat, and with $10 million on the line, no rematch clauses, random drug testing, and serious weight penalties, these two aren't just fighting for glory, they're fighting for their careers. This is more than just a fight, it's a spectacle, a battle of egos, and a money-making machine all rolled into one. Will Jake Paul keep his undefeated streak? Will Andrew Tate prove he's truly unbeatable? Or will one of them make a mistake so big that they lose everything? Whatever happens, one thing is certain, this fight is going to be remembered for a long time. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Is it all just hype, or is this really a showdown for the ages? Let me know where you stand, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're excited for this chaotic mess of a fight.
You want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living out of a goofy, entitled dickhead.